Good evening, everyone, and I hope you're all having a great evening. I have had numerous people say they appreciated my last video, so I'm going to do another one. And this one tonight is interesting, I think, to most because it's just a hot topic. And I'm going to preface it by starting out with this, and that is if you listen to me on KQEN this morning, actually this afternoon, I made a statement and I still stand behind it, and I will believe this is true. I do not do politics on emotion. I don't work on conspiracy theories. I do not make decisions based just on emotion. I make political decisions based on the people's opinions that I think I represent. And that's just how it is. And I think that reactionary politics is a lot of what got our state in trouble. And I think that right now our state is still in trouble, and we have a lot of stuff going on. We have crazy concrete killer clowns out there, pushing vigilante justice, which, for a worthy cause. But, there's just a lot of that kind of stuff going on. And I think the whole state could probably do well from just taking a little bit of a sigh of breath and pausing for just a second. But anyway, tonight, what I'm speaking about is flock cameras. And I don't even really want to talk about flock cameras, but because it continues to be an issue and I continue to get emails, continue to get people asking me messages, all sorts of different ways, just in person as far as that goes. My opinions on flock cameras. Well, my opinions on flock cameras are going to be the same as my opinion on politics, and that is a couple things. Number one, I don't make decisions based on emotion. I make decisions based on facts. I do not make decisions based on conspiracy theories or anything like that, and that's just not going to happen. I also do not think that flock cameras should be used as a political pawn or political football. We're seeing it. We are seeing it out there. People are using it as either a reason to not vote for somebody or a reason to vote for somebody. I'm telling you, in the grand scheme of things, there are a lot of other things that are way more important right now out there than flock cameras. But I will tell you this, the flock camera issue is not something that is brand new to me or to the legislature. We actually passed some legislation, I believe it was in the last legislative session, that greatly restricted the ability for people to have access to the flock camera information. And evidently that wasn't good enough. And somehow or another, and again, it was probably used for politics, but again, it became an issue of, well, now our Fourth Amendment is being, trampled upon. So, maybe not. Not my decision to make. I do have an opinion. We're going to talk about that here in just a minute. However, I want to just give everybody a word of warning. Flock cameras are used by the police. So I don't do conspiracy theories, like I said. So what I did is I contacted Chief Mills in Sutherland because he was the one that I spent the most time working on the flock camera issue well over a year ago, even though most people never even heard of him back then, but well over a year ago. I also spoke with Sheriff Hanlon and about the county's flock camera issues, and I've also spoken to a smaller degree with the city of Winston, who recently canceled their flock contract based on finances. I want to just give you some stats I got today from Chief Mills in Sutherland. Great friend of mine, wonderful police person, is a wonderful person. So I asked Chief Mills to give me some stats on what flock cameras had been responsible for. Just this last year, menacing, pointing of firearms at another, 2 cases at Saul, burglary, 2 cases, homicides, which we can talk more about in a minute, stalking, 2 cases, aggravated theft over $10,000, 2 cases, missing persons recovery, counterfeiting, forgery, hit and run, eluding vehicle thefts, and the list goes on. Now, there's also, when I spoke to Sheriff Hanlon, just in passing about the flock issue, I believe that flock cameras have helped solve the last 4 murder cases in Douglas County, as well as many other cases where flock cameras have been used. Now, we can get into the whole argument about, well, your cell phone does everything that flock cameras do. They can follow you, they can trace you, or whatever. Believe me, I work with search and rescue. I understand what the power of a cell phone is. That's how we find you. That's one of the ways we find you, is with your cell phone, not with flock camera. But flock cameras have been used for things like that, I'm sure. The point of this conversation tonight is this. I don't control flock cameras, but flock cameras can be controlled by the municipalities in which they're used in. Douglas County can decide whether or not their sheriffs can, run flock cameras. Sutherland can decide whether or not their police force uses flock cameras, as well as Winston and any other municipality that potentially has flock cameras. I am a state representative. I do not have flock cameras. Do I believe in flock cameras? I believe they have their merit. As I just stated, there is a lot of things that flock cameras do. Do I believe flock cameras should be used as a political pawn or a football? I do not, and I do not think they should be. Now, let's talk about conspiracies. I had a gentleman at the fair come up to me and tell me that flock cameras, that the county has 8 flock cameras, 8 flock camera drones, and they're all flock cameras and they're all going to AI centers. Well, that is factually not correct. I also work with search and rescue. I've also flown one of those drones for search and rescue. Those drones are not connected to an AI center. They are not flock cameras. They are not looking for, whether or not you have your Vax card. Which brings me to another conspiracy theory. I've had people come up to me and say, look, the flock cameras are going to be able to tell whether or not you're vaccinated, and if you aren't vaccinated, they're going to pull you over and arrest you for not being vaccinated. Okay, come on, guys. That's conspiracy theory. Conspiracy theories and politics do not mix. Do not believe everything you hear. Fact check everything. I don't make political decisions unless I have facts, and I have gotten a lot of facts on this. Now, again, I'm a state representative. My last word of warning, and the point really in this conversation tonight is this: it doesn't matter whether or not I believe flock cameras are a good thing or a bad thing. I do believe in your Fourth Amendment. I strongly believe in everybody's Fourth Amendment. Whether or not flock cameras violate that, I don't know. That's really not up for me to decide. There's a lot of other cameras out there that are being used regularly, and you're not expected to have privacy when you're in public. So there's that. Here's my word of warning. You do not want this to become a statewide issue that is ran through our legislature, especially with our current sitting legislature, because here's why. Flock cameras may be the worst thing ever invented, and maybe the best thing ever is to get rid of all of them. That might possibly be the case. If this goes through the state legislature, I guarantee you, knowing our legislature and knowing the folks in Salem who absolutely hate police, absolutely hate criminals, or they hate punishing criminals, or for that matter, they don't even like victims. And I'm not just saying that. I have listened to them not pass laws that help victims' rights, because they don't care. They don't want to see anybody punished. They don't want to see anybody go to jail. The list goes on. Here's what will happen. You will lose your ability to have a camera at your house. You will lose your ability to have cameras at your business. You will lose your ability to have cameras in the grocery store. You will lose your abilities to have cameras anywhere outside of, within your living room. I don't say that as a conspiracy theorist. I say that as factually, I understand how politics works in Oregon. And in Oregon, the way politics works is this: we make really rash decisions based on emotion, and it's generally ran through folks that don't understand the outcomes could affect all of us in negative ways. So, my point in this is this: be careful what you wish for, you may get it. If you don't like flock cameras, go to your city council. Tell them that you do not like flock cameras. Tell them that you want them stopped. If you don't like flock cameras, go to your county commissioners and tell them you want flock cameras stopped. Do whatever you need to do. I advise you not to allow it to go to the state. If it gets to the state, I think that bad things are going to happen. That's my point. Again, I am a state representative. I do not control the county in which I live. I do not control the cities in which I live. I am not responsible for the funding of flock cameras to the county or the funding of flock cameras to the city. However, I do support all of our police, and I support our police budgets wholeheartedly. I'm just asking everybody to let this thing simmer down a little bit and think through your arguments. I'm not suggesting that your arguments aren't correct. I'm not saying that flock cameras may or may not violate your Fourth Amendment, because frankly, it's a pretty gray line and it may very well violate your Fourth Amendment. I'm just saying, let the heat calm down on this and make good decisions on this. Now, that's about as far as I'm going to go, because I don't have the authority to change this. This isn't something that a state representative can come out and change. I can certainly come out with my opinions on it, and half of you would probably like it and the other half probably wouldn't. So we'll just leave it at that. Now, with that said, I do want to invite everybody tomorrow night at 6 o'clock on The Verge. We'll be live again, both on YouTube and Facebook, and 13 other platforms as well. We will have Senator Christine Drazan, who is hopefully our next, let's just say she is our next governor. So she has a plan, and I got a copy of the plan today. I know she's advertising it now, and you'll hear all about it tomorrow evening on how we're going to save our state and turn it around. because there are really important things out there that need to be addressed that really affect each and every one of us every day. So I encourage everybody to join us tomorrow night. You can find us on Facebook, you can find us on YouTube, 13 other platforms that Apple, Spotify Music, etc. And we can talk some more about this later, but I just think it was important to get the opinion out there, and I think we need to state the facts. Have a great night, everyone, and take care. Bye-bye.